You know, I like having a lot of space and stuff, but having 3 floors of space to try to find stuff or grab stuff from one floor to the other when you forget something's kind of a pain. I had to go upstairs because I forgot the GoPro. So a couple updates in this one. The wife made her decision. She said that the speaker having its grill off could be distracting. So they're keeping the grills, which is fine. I mean, wasn't that big of a deal. We got the Star Trek poster up on the wall. So yay, command strips. Stuck really good. So good, in fact, I actually put it up too high the first time. I thought I kind of knew what I was doing, but I guess not. And I tried to peel it off. It was only up there like not even 30 seconds, minute. And it wouldn't come back off, so I actually had to peel the tab and get a whole new strip. But that's up. Bonus deal with that is now when I look through the projector hole, I'm mostly seeing the Star Trek poster instead of the big white wall, which is an improvement. You can't really tell it's a Star Trek poster, but at least it's not white, you know? Speaking of projector hole, I have 7 of the 8 pieces cut and trimmed out. So this is the front. It's going to shift a little bit. I mean, obviously it's not secured yet, so that's going to go more like that, etc., etc. And then on the back side, you got that. So I still need to cut the top piece. It's cut, I just need to trim out the corners. Thing looks pretty good. Especially when it's painted black and screwed up. I think it'll get the job done. So I decided what I'm going to do for back here. I went ahead and added some more foam because I had some new foam that fit better. I replaced this one with something a little longer and a little stiffer. Then I added this guy. I am going to go ahead and use these for the last row, at least one of them. I don't know what I'm going to do for the very back, whether I'm going to try cutting these in half, although, you know, I have to use the scissors, so I don't know that I love that idea. Or I come up with some other plan, or I just leave it not covered, to be determined. But I had the white L bracket for this thing that I don't need now. So I'm gonna just kind of cut the slits in it. I'm going to screw it back here on this piece of wood right here to give me a lip. And then these are going to sticky tape and or screw into that. And then I'll either just leave them if they're stiff enough. If not, I'll probably also sticky tape them to the vent. Gotta be a little more careful with this one though, because this is actually a supply line. So this is actually full of hot and or cold air depending on the season. The vent still more or less stays a comfortable temperature. I'm not worried about the cold obviously, but slightly concerned about the heat. But I don't think it's anywhere near enough to do anything to the tape or the foam, so I'm not overly worried about it. I don't really want to screw into it though, if I don't have to. I think I'm gonna find alternate means. I don't want to screw into it. It's a little more destructive than the supply line, which doesn't, or the return, which doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'm gonna do that today. At least get it up there and hopefully get a couple of panels mounted. I got the RGB IC lights up in the office, so that's good to go. Fits 3 walls perfectly. I'm 1 LED shifted to the left. I thought I found the center point, but either they messed up or I did, one of the way. But that's okay, it's only 1 LED off, no big deal. I'm gonna get the other slit and the projector hole cut. I don't think I'm gonna attempt to tape them, or excuse me, paint them today. Still either want to wait for the life, or if I do it, it's gonna be not now. I might give it a shot, we'll see. But I'm gonna do other things today instead. Maybe start packing for our trip. Because that is gonna be this weekend. So yeah, that is my plan. And then I'll see where that goes. We are taking our cat to the vet today. Nothing crazy. He's already kind of over his cold that he had. But it's time for his annual checkup on his ears. So that's today at 4. Gonna have to catch a nap sometime between now and then. I am off the next 2 days though, which is nice. So I have some time to play. But yeah, back to work. Just showing you what I'm up to. So it's gonna go something like yay. Screw it down to the beam right there. And then, you know, 0 points throughout this. And that gives me a lip to put the panels on. Because, like I said, this lip isn't really fat enough. And it disappears as I go that direction anyway. Because it's shifted a little. But I think this will work. Work well enough anyway. Oh, I can already tell this is going to be a real pain in the ass. This is really hard wood. So even with pre-drilling it, stuff doesn't really, well, it's really dark. You get the idea though. Stuff doesn't really want to go in. They don't have to go all the way through the wood. As long as it secures it up here, doesn't really matter. It's like no weight gonna go on it. But there's like no room to work to get my hand in there between the vent and everything else. So I'm trying, but this is gonna be a trial and frustration, I'm sure. Well, I got 2 screws in. I'm tempted to call it there. I mean, it's not going anywhere, as you can see. I would like to at least tack this end down. I tried starting with this end, and it wasn't really having it. So I'm hoping now that this end is secured. At least there's not a bunch of weight on it, messing it up. So I can try pulling it down and going for it again. I'm only going to do 3 though, that should be more than enough. And then, I haven't decided the exact orientation yet, but it'll look something like that. You know, behind the LEDs. Something like yay. Okay, yeah, that was a lot easier. Still not easy, but easier. So that is it. It's up. It's not totally even, but I mean, we're talking about foam. It shouldn't really matter a whole lot. I think we're good. Now let's start putting up some foam blocks. Alright, so now it's a matter of adhesive. I only have 2 of the 3M squares left. And the 3M squares did not totally like this stuff, as I recall. We got the red tape, which I still have a decent amount left of, sitting over there. I think we're going to try that. Do a strip, at least half, maybe 3/4, but probably half, because I don't have that much. Centered in the back. Or maybe I'll do the 2 sides. Okay, so we'll do 2 smaller strips here and here. Maybe like yay. And then probably screw in the middle. We'll see how well that does, I guess. At least on the one side. I don't even know what we're doing with the other side yet. I could also just tape it to the foam, because I mean, this is not really going anywhere. It's wedged in, so you know, just to kind of keep that end up. And the speaker's going to keep one of them up, because it's going to get squished in there. I guess we'll try it, see what happens. I had a tiny little piece of scrap tape, because I had to trim one of the ones from that. It was too long. But it was a good experiment. So it sticks fine enough. You just got to really press it in there. And I figure this backing is still really hard to get off. So I figured I was going to pre-peel it and then apply it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be pulling it off the foam when I try to peel the edge. But then I can't really press it enough to squish it in, because I'm going to have to press on it and it's going to stick to me better than it sticks to the foam. It's also going to get my fingerprint on and stuff all over the adhesive. So I think I need to put it on before I take the backing off. But then I got to get the backing off without peeling it away from the foam. It's going to be a challenge. Alright, actually it wasn't all that bad. I was able to peel it off and it sticks decently enough. It definitely is sagging though, so I'm gonna have to do something. Probably throw a screw there just to be sure. I need to make sure I don't catch these wires though. And then I'll probably throw a screw into the foam. And probably add tape. Maybe little tapes in the corners. Yeah, let me try that. 2 little tapes in the corners and a couple screws. Well, I'll scratch the screws. It doesn't want to go through the paper, cardboard, whatever. It just clicks, which is weird. It should go right through it. But anyway, especially doing it in the crack, the foam is so thin there. Hard to go. All it does is chew it up anyway. You're not going to be able to see that, but basically then the foam isn't really connected, so the screw won't really be holding the foam because it's tearing it all up. So we're just gonna have to go 100% tape and cross our fingers that it works better than it did on this stuff. Different material, as long as it bonds to this and it's not that crappy wood, I should be able to get a good bond. And these are very, very light, so hopefully that's enough. Another construction update that I need to address is I do need to secure these now. I always did, but now that the decorative screen is gone. Well, thanks for that in there, GoPro. I knew the battery was getting low, but I thought I had a little more juice than that. I got a charge back up to 66%. I'm not sure what the other battery is up to. I just kind of threw them both in the charger. Neither one of them turned green before I decided to come back down. But at least I also got some food out of the deal, so it was nice having a little bit of a lunch. Anyway, as I was saying, I do need to go ahead and secure this because it's, more visible from this side of the room now. They pop together okay. They just don't necessarily stay that way. So I'm going to throw one of those door jamb frame pieces on the other side just to kind of shear them up a good bit. In the meantime, while the thing was charging, I did go ahead and cut the other piece for this. Right now I do have it backwards, so it's the top. Did it fall? No. Yeah, it's one of them fell. Yeah, so this is gonna actually go over this, but this one's a lot tighter, so I have it just to kind of keep it up there right now. Only problem is I would like I was almost gonna flip pieces, but this one got a little chewed up when I was cutting it. Unfortunately, I nicked the edge over here, so it's not as pretty. It might be fine when it's painted, but once they're screwed in, it doesn't really matter how tight it is. It's only been like an hour, but so far so good on this. He hasn't fallen yet. Still looks about the same as far as tightness. I did unfortunately cover up my access to that power block and the power for the laser projector. But, I'm probably not going to move it. If I do, I can get up there. I'll just have to tape it periodically. Also, I did add a new art piece. I don't think I showed you guys this yet. So I got my Megaplex private screening of Zootopia. I got a print from that, framed it up, so it's here now. It actually matches the stair step, which is nice. Now it's as high as I can reach with the ladder equipment that I have. So there's that at least. Also, I got my Anthrocon flag hanging somewhere. Yeah, I know it's not great, but I wanted to put it somewhere. I didn't really have any other spots in the house that needed decorating. So I'm going to continue back to putting up more of these foam things. I think that's all I wanted to address since the last break. Like I said, I got that cut. I still need to paint them and secure them. Nothing else has really changed. They showed off the Megaplex thing from Zootopia. They showed off Star Trek, I'm pretty sure. And I had mentioned that they wanted to do the wall. Oh, the other thing is I'm going to use the skinnier ones of those L brackets in the back here to finally cinch all these up. So they're flat and at least looking like they're one thing. So that'll also be a soon project because that's pretty easy. But back to more black tape and more foam panels. I think it looks pretty good from the front. So I knew it was going to step down, which I'm okay with. Gives it some dimension back there. Hopefully the sound dampening will help with that vent, because it tends to tick, which is weird. It's either that or the water pipe. I'm not sure which. So hopefully it'll help with that a little bit, and from sound going upstairs. And it looks cooler. I don't mind that it's a different texture, because I kind of like it, and it kind of marries with the back wall, so. To be continued. Alright, panel number 2 is up. It was a bit of a challenge, but I think I made it work. Essentially, there's a lot going on back here under the speaker between the LED strip and the wiring. And this is, I guess, sitting a little lower than when I was test fitting the thing, so it didn't really squish as much as I would like. And I didn't really want to put too much pressure on the binding posts or the LED strip, or suffocate it where, you know, it's going to get too hot. So I ended up trimming some of the foam. Not a lot, just enough to give it some room. Kind of right behind it. You can't really tell, which is good. That was kind of what I was going for. But I think it's in there. I didn't even bother taping the front half, because it ain't going anywhere. But I did go ahead and secure the back half, just to kind of A, keep it in place, and B, so it doesn't sag. It's a little crooked, as I can see here. I think it shifted when I was taping it. But, I mean, it's behind the speaker, so unless you're, like, looking up from the back row, you're not really going to be able to tell. And, I mean, that back piece of foam is movable, so I may be able to kind of jigger it a little. But I'm liking what I'm getting. Piece number 2 is done. Let's see in a minute. Also, Simba has joined us. Alright, if I'm going to get this snap in before the vet, I better do it. So I'm going to stop here for now. I more or less got the center stripe here lined up with the projector. I mean, yeah, as good as I can anyway. It fits where it fits. I didn't mention it, but I kind of like how the projector's lit up by the LED strip on the other side of the wall now. It's kind of cool looking. So yeah, that's where we are for now. I still got enough play on this where I could tip my projector, my laser projector a little bit. Fan's a little restricted, but I don't usually leave it on for too long, so no big deal. I want to run the cord between the two pieces, just so it's not in the way of anything. You may have noticed that this guy was sagging, so I had these foam L brackets. I was actually going to screw it up into that corner, but it doesn't really seem like I need to. It's wedged in there pretty tight with some wiring and sitting on top of the curtain, so good enough. I ain't going to worry about it. I may throw some black tape on it just to kind of hide it a little bit better. Although it's in the corner, no one really looks back there. But yeah, it's definitely getting close to being totally done. You know, in the end it does look better, but I mean, like I said, with the general light levels, it just kind of blends in anyway. So, I mean, yeah, okay, I can see that stuff over there. And that just looks like black, which is good. But, I mean, realistically, it doesn't matter that much. But yes, it looks better. Anyway, good night for now. I will continue this later, probably tonight when I wake up or tomorrow, either or. Well, so far everything seems to be holding. Also, bonus, this doesn't actually touch the pipe. It's got like 1/4 inch gap, maybe a little less in some places. So at least it'll allow some airflow, so it's not, you know, like I said, directly in contact, which makes me feel a little better. This was up above the wiring, but it really makes it too high, so I decided to go below the wiring, which kind of makes it too low now. Maybe I'll just have it touch the wiring, since that's going to be in the middle of a foam panel anyway, and actually leave a gap so they can go up a little higher. I'm debating if I need to put a angle bracket here. I don't think I do, though. It seems, well, maybe. We'll see. It might be too wiggly. But like I said, these panels don't weigh anything, so no big deal either way. Well, I wish I checked my alignment a little bit better, but this last one is actually taped to the pipe, which, I mean, works. It should still hold it up there. We'll see how securely. And hopefully it doesn't, like, you know, leave a residue or anything, but it should be fine. It's just a water pipe, so no big deal. But yeah, we got 2 more up. Probably do 1 more right now, and then I gotta figure out what I'm doing with the speakers, if I gotta cut it again or not. Looks like between wedging it with the speaker and that should be secure enough. And then we're into the cardboard, so that should be fine to hold those up as well. I also cleaned up the power, so everything's behind the cabinet now. I got the cabinet itself and the Galaxy bulb on 2 smart outlets now. It's a dual outlet, so it's got, you know, 1 plug, but it's got 2 smart outlets, so I can control those from my phone. Well, there goes that battery. At least I was able to complete my sentence, I think. Anyway, so like I said, all the outlets, cords are routed behind the cabinet now. I got the cabinet and the Galaxy bulb on a dual smart plug, so I can control them individually from my phone, which is especially helpful for the cabinet here, because the switch is back here and it's pretty awkward to get to. So I got 3 of the foam things expanded left and ready to go. Did I finally lose? Nope, it's just saggy. 2 gets me pretty much to that L, a little past, give or take, something like that, which is probably far enough. And then I have 1 left over that I could throw in that corner, although I probably won't bother. Which gives me another pack of, what, 12, I think, that I can expand. Now, I could cut them and just finish up here with a sliver. And then I could put 2 of the partials down there. Hi, Simba. So that's an option. I was also toying with the idea of maybe adding an accent to this guy. So kind of doing them above and below the speaker, up the curtain. I would have to go in the curtain because otherwise you wouldn't see them. I have to keep the curtain there because on that side there's the wood beam coming down for that speaker, and on this side behind me there is no wall, like 2/3 of the way up. So I'd probably just put them on top of the curtain, which normally probably would be okay. On this one it would be a little angled because, you know, the way where the rod is versus where the speaker is, which might look a little awkward. Also not totally sure there's enough. 3 above, 3 below, 6 aside. It should just work out. But but that's not letting me do anything with the back as far as that goes. Simba is very needed today. I'm not sure what's up. Maybe he's just happy to be home from the vet. Apparently he gained a couple pounds. He's up to 17 now. So we gotta scale his food back. I was overfeeding him a little bit apparently. At the very least I am gonna black out this bottom thing here with the black gaff tape, just do a run across the bottom. Call it good for now at least. I may modify that later. I don't know. I have to figure out what I'm doing with the foam. I did make a small change to the path. So originally I had one of the GE light strips down there, plus an extender that I picked up. But then it was sticking out quite a bit for the the cabinet, which didn't really seem necessary. And it was kind of curly down there. I thought I needed it, but I stretched it out, put it a little bit further underneath the couch, and it's fine. I mean, it goes past the couch edge here as far as light. It goes to the cabinet just fine. So that's the single strip. And I have this exact same strip up in my bathroom, but it only did, 2 sides of the shower enclosure. So I added the extender to that, and it actually perfectly fits the 3 sides of the enclosure now. So that's good. Although I did realize that strip up there in the bathroom I thought was just different. It didn't seem to have controllable whites. It was all just a bright white, and then it changed the brightness when you change the color temperature. But I looked at it a little closer, and it's got all the components. So it should be fine. And it doesn't say anything about it, about not being adjustable. So I think it's just effective. I tried the one in the kitchen because I have another one of these there as well above the plant shelf, and that one works fine. And those I got at pretty much at the same time, and they have the same type of backing. The one on the couch is the oldest one. It used to be in my office on my desk, so I thought maybe they just changed it. Of course I bought it so long ago at this point, I don't know if I can actually do anything about it. I'm also not entirely sure whether I got it from Meyer or Amazon. I have to check my order history and see if I got 3 strips from Amazon or if one of them came from Meyer, and then who knows which is which. I also don't know that I want to rip it down just to replace it. The tunable color or tunable white isn't that big of a deal because most of the time I'm running it in color mode anyway, and that's fine. Really, the only time it's going to matter is I'm running it in white mode and I want a warmer color. So I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I can at least have them send me a free strip. Who knows? But I'm going to finish up the last 2 panels down here today. And then I think I'm going to call it quits because I do work tonight. I have 2 days left before my 5-day vacation. Cannot wait. But I still need to pack. I still need to wrap the anniversary presents for the wife. I need to update our portable hard drive with some new content. Gonna throw a Chippendale on there. Gonna update my Masked Singer collection. So we got quite a bit to do in the next few days before we leave. And I think this is in a good spot now. Projector hole can wait until we get back. I wasn't really even planning on doing the ceiling, but I decided I wanted to give it a shot. And then, sorry Simba, I didn't mean to hit you. I cleaned out this cabinet, which is kind of partly why I'm doing this, because they were sitting in here. So now all my extra screws and stuff are out of here. The foam panels are up here. So that's ready for repurposing. But yep, I'm gonna go ahead and get these last 2 panels up. Start splicing this video together while I work on some other stuff. Get some food. And then call it a day at some point here soonish, because I do work tonight, so I want to catch a nap at some point. Alright, see you in a bit. And she's done. Like I said, I mean, it goes right to the curtain, so I don't think it's worth putting another one back there, especially with the light strip coming over. Curtain rod's right there. So that's that. Like I said, I might do something with this in the back. Don't really know what. I did go ahead and also black out that. And again, not perfect, as nothing down here is. But it's better than looking at the wood. And I mean, like I said, these lights are almost never going to be this bright. Or white for that matter. So I'll just blend it in a little bit better. So I think that's it for down here for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and cobble this guy together, see where we're at on length. Probably get it posted before our trip, and then we'll take a little break for a bit. Audio wise, the next thing I'm curious about, as I keep hearing audioholics talk about the decay over 60 or something along those lines. So I want to see where my decay is, see if I'm in the range, because this is what I would consider a pretty heavily treated room. Some would actually say it's possibly over treated, but we have all the space behind the screen. We do have the cabinet and the table. The ceiling could be considered a scattering device potentially, more than absorptive. We got the speakers, so we'll see where we're at. Just kind of curious where my number's gonna fall. It should be between 300 and 600 apparently. So that'll be a fun little thing. I might do that pretty quick, just to see kind of where we're at as far as that. But otherwise, I'm gonna sign off for now. Grab some food, start getting ready for the trip. But I got another check off the work list completed. Alright, catch you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Never mind. I had to come back down here to do some laundry anyway. Move it over to the other machine. So I'm going to try to get these strips installed. So it's the door jamb or the door frame from the door that is upstairs. It's got the pet door in it. We didn't need the frame. So I'm just going to use the scrap wood. And they're like pretty much the perfect height. So that should work pretty good as long as I can get the screw all the way through. I did drill it. Now I just got to get them to sync together. Also, I past it plenty, but didn't actually commentate that this is all done now. So I did tape the bottom like I said I was going to. Covered up that corner where the light was bleeding through. I think it looks decent enough. Alright, so let's try to throw a few screws in this sucker and see if I can get this gap to clear up. And then, I don't know what we're doing with it. I've been looking at like some space wallpapers or like some scenic wall stickers that I might do on it as like a backdrop. And then we may or may not put art on top of it from there. We'll see. Also, apparently my controller fell. I need to go fix that. Well, that's a lot better. Definitely a pain. It'd be easier if there were two people, one on the other side pushing towards me and one, me over here. But I got two there. Because of the way I did this, with this being under this and this being over this, it's really not any reason to go any higher with them, because it's not going to bring them closer together. Just it is what it is. I'm in the speaker wires and stuff over here too, so I'm just trying to get it to look a little better. Bottom's good. I think I'm gonna put one more set kind of right here in the middle, and then that should be it for that piece. And then I'm done with this for now. It'll be easier to do this side, because at least I have a long enough arm where I could reach around and press it myself. So that'll definitely go a little easier. But it's also one I'm less worried about. This one sticks together pretty good because I did them the same. But yeah, I'll do two more over here. Start up the washer. And then I'm going to call it a day. Alright, catch you later.